I'm at Meadows Music Festival. It's day 2. It's time to rock. We had country yesterday, and I'm sitting with JJ Wilde right now. I was really surprised that you were not the 10 o'clock.
Well, thank you very much.
But Glorious Sons is, and you've toured with them before.
I have, yeah. My band has opened for them that's kind of what started me out in touring. I think my first tour ever was with the Sons. And so it's just fun when we get to like come back and forth and see everybody. It's like old friends, you know? So It's going to be great. It's going to be a great day.
Like you've said, you've opened, but you've headlined. You did some headlining.
Yeah.
The two of those, they're timed differently. Like if you're opening, you don't get a lot of time. If you're headlining, you get tons of time. But for festivals, it's kind of in between. So how do you plan that?
I guess for like an opening slot, it is so different than a headlining slot because, you know, you have an hour, sometimes it's 45, whatever it is. And at this point in my career, the catalog of my music, you know, it's gotten bigger over the years. And so now it's kind of like the fun thing is you just play what you want instead of, you know, a few years ago, before I had done a ton of headlining stuff, it was just kind of, even in the opening slots, it was, you just play everything you have because I usually had like about an hour of music. And so as, you know, as my music catalog has progressed and stuff, the sets are more fun because it's like, oh, do we feel like playing this today? You know, and it really just goes by my mood and what songs are my favorite right now.
So do you make up your playlist like day of?
No, this set list we rehearsed a couple times because that's the other thing about doing the opening slot is like you don't want to be an asshole and be like 5 minutes over because then that cuts into the next band's setup time, cuts into the next, like can't do. I mean, you can, but it's kind of a dick move. So
well, festivals are really serious about that too.
They are, well, because honestly, if one person goes over, it kind of screws the whole show because then everybody's rushing. Then you either have to cut the next set a little bit down, and as the opener, you just don't want to do that to the next band. It's just respect, right? Yep. So we time our sets in rehearsal, but again, when it's a headlining set, you don't have to time anything. You just do whatever the fuck you want.
This is, 40 minutes from Kitchener? Kitchener's your hometown.
Yeah, it is. So this feels a lot like a hometown show. And my cousin, who's my guitar player, lives in Fergus. Him and his wife have a house here. So this is a hometown show for him. And our whole family's here. You know, the bands that are on the bill we're all friends. So that also just makes it feel like such a hometown vibe, you know?
Yeah, I could see back here, everybody, when they come in, they just start hugging everybody else. And yeah it's a big family get-together. It is.
And like, honestly, most festivals are like that, but the local ones, they're so special.
And so now you live in Nashville, right?
I actually just moved back to Canada.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and at the right fucking time with what's going on in the States. We won't get into that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was thinking, too, that you're the first rocker that I've interviewed that has moved to Nashville over like LA or Seattle or any of the rock. Like, how did that work out for you? Because you're surrounded by country music.
Yes.
Rocking out, though.
Yeah, so there is, I mean, you know, Nashville is predominantly country music. There is a bit of a scene. There's a pop scene. There's a rock scene. There's
Third Man Records.
There's a lot going on there. But it actually was just through writing. I was going in between LA and Nashville, working on new music. And at the time, I thought, okay, I want to move somewhere. Like I either wanted to go LA or Nashville. I wanted to go to a mecca of music where, you know, Toronto. I'm not that much of like a city person, and although LA and Nashville are big cities, to me they're not as like city as Toronto. Toronto's more like New York, you know what I mean? So for me it was a clear thing between those two, and I just ended up doing writing in LA. Then I went for a trip in Nashville, and I found the people in Nashville were so much more down to earth. There was great people in LA as well, but I just found a group of musicians that I kind of had like a built-in friend group, and so when I thought about moving, I was like, nah, this feels like the spot. Like I had a bit more of a scene there with like who I was writing with. It just worked out that way. Yeah.
And you write on your own too?
Yes. Yeah, I write everything. Like I write all my music, and I'll have co-writes and stuff, so it'll either be some of it I write completely by myself, some of it I bring a song into a session with some co-writers and say, this is this, you know, help me finish it. Or some days we would just start and be like, what do you want to write today? It's very different from,
And when I heard about Vices, that you had it pretty much complete and then you started over, my heart ached for you. I hate doing things twice, and I was just like even when it comes to like me, I edit like interviews and small things. I'm thinking a whole album.
It was crazy.
Right back to the first step.
Yeah, it was a hard decision, but it just felt like the right one. Like it was about 8, I think there was 8 songs that were done. And out of 10, it's pretty much the whole album. But I got the mixes back, the initial first round, and it was just like, something's not right. It just didn't like give me that feeling that I was looking for. Like there's a certain feeling where I feel like I've written the best thing ever, or the songs just sound like the best that they've ever felt. And hey buddy, and sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I don't know what the kind of word for the feeling is, but it just wasn't there. And so I thought,
the excitement that you feel when you know it's the right
thing. Yeah, that's it's just like the gut instinct, right? And so that gut instinct wasn't there on those songs, and I listened to them again. I talked to my manager, and he agreed. And so with him, kind of backing me up, I was like, okay, then it's not just me. There's something here. We need to draw back to why did these demos feel so good and then the finished product didn't feel as good. And it's not demo-itis, but I'm glad that we made the decision we did, because I ended up in the process of writing more for the record and finding a new producer. I ended up writing some of my favorite songs on the record. So it just worked out the way it was supposed to.
And so did you find that there was extras that didn't make the cut, or maybe they didn't make the cut for Ruthless? Do you have some that we maybe will get another album soon?
Oh yeah. And not even just from the stuff I haven't released yet, but I'm in the middle of writing my new album right now, and there's about 6 or 7 songs done, and a whole lot of unfinished, and some that I'm not sure if are good enough, and some that I think, and we're just in that phase of the creation process, so it's exciting. But there's a ton of leftover music from each album that I'll go back every now and then, and a song from 5 years ago, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me listen to that. And sometimes it's ooh, and sometimes it's I should put that out maybe,
but it might be that you don't have those feelings anymore, but somebody else does and can totally relate to it, right?
Right. And some years, maybe I listened to that song 2 years ago, I was in a different place and hated it, and then listened to it, present day, and was like, oh, that song's sick. The music is so kind of,
Well, the song, I'm Not Crazy, You're an Asshole, that song, I thought it was about a guy. And then come to find out, it's about bullies at high school. Yes. And then when I listened to it again, I was like, oh, I get it. Because I was thinking about an ex that I dealt with, but it kind of related to it. Yeah. And then I find out that's not what it was about at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was bullied really bad in high school. And when I was going through that, obviously I was 16, not that confident, and I didn't have the courage to really stand up to them the way I wanted to. And eventually, actually, I did, and that's what stopped it just stopped, because eventually I just said, all right, and it all came to a head.
But that's a little letter to them.
It is.
And when I listened to it too, I was like, those bitches know who they are.
Oh yeah, of course they do. They all apologized.
Oh,
they all came back, and I was like, yeah.
So what's playing on your favorite playlist right now? What are you listening to?
Ooh, what am I listening to right now? I love Ruby Waters' new album. Really, really good. It's this, I think it was either late last year or early this year that she put it out. Oh my god, I listened to that this morning. Obsessed. Jessie Reyes' new album. Oh my god, there's fucking 30 songs on that thing, and
really?
I don't know if it's 30, but it's something crazy, 24 or 27 or something, and every song is absolutely unreal. Who else am I listening to right now? Who do I keep putting on? Randomly, I've been listening to pop country radio.
Really?
Don't tell anybody. You can't.
Okay. No one listens to this anyway.
No, yeah, randomly, like whenever it gets sunny, there'll be like 2 weeks at the early starts of summer where I will just turn on, and it's not a Spotify playlist. No, it has to be country radio with like the cheesy commercials. It just, there's something about it. Early summer, I'm a sucker.
I cannot wait to see everybody, because they'll be singing along. And when that first started happening, what was the feeling that you got?
Oh, I cried. I definitely like teared up a little bit the first time I noticed people singing along. It was like such a just like very proud moment, and just like something cool to share with the audience. Like, it's that feeling of like, oh, I guess these people do know my music. Like imposter syndrome,
You've shared everything with that audience. Like,
right.
Your music is so real. Like, especially when you're talking about vices, like whether it be like cigarettes or men or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to be so raw as you are, and like, hey, here's my life and the shit that I've dealt with.
Right.
Take it as you will and whatever. I envy that you have the balls to do that, because when I first listened to your album, I was just like, wow, she just is like, that's who she is, and that's...
I take it or leave it, baby. Yep. Take it or leave it.
So excited to see you tonight. Is your band pumped up? Are you guys doing more this summer too?
Yeah, this is the start of a very busy summer. We're pretty much playing somewhere different in Canada every weekend, twice a weekend. It's like, a little mini tour. I think there's like 14 or 15 shows throughout the summer, so it's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're back and being Canadian.
Yes,
and
hell yeah.
Welcome back. I'm sure a ton of your friends and family are going to be here because you're
half the crowd's probably my family, honestly.
Well, it's almost a sold out show. I think there's only like 2 tickets left.
Woo!
So
I love that.
Yeah. So break a leg up there.
Thank
and
you
thanks
so
for
much.
taking the time with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.